Alright, so welcome everyone. This is the start of an actual live recording in contrast to the Chrono Trigger stuff. This is Idrian. I'm going to be going through some Zelda stuff with some rotating co-commentators. So this time around, we've got Ambi still, and
Hello.
as an extra guest, we've got someone new, Snow.
Howdy there.
So, Ambi, you're pretty new to Zelda games, so this is going to be a new experience for you. But Snow, I know you're pretty experienced, Snow. So you can help me out if I happen to forget anything on the way.
Oh, it'll be a pleasure.
Let's go ahead and start with the intro. So this was the first game where they really tried to have a story of some sort. There kind of was in the two NES games, but just pretty much an excuse for gameplay.
Right.
Honestly, the little game book that came with this typically had wonderful art, both in the Super Nintendo and in the Game Boy version.
Yeah. The Zelda games always had really nice manuals.
I wonder why one of the sages was slightly shorter than all the others.
That's the Dwarf Sage.
Does Zelda have the traditional fantasy races? I thought it had.
Nope, they've actually got their own unique races, though in Link to the Past we don't really see any of them.
Well, that certainly doesn't look like a Lich King or anything. A skull up and crown.
That's the body of the good king of Hyrule.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Why is it always the wizard?
Because wizards are bastards now. Wizards are bastards.
So this skimmed over a little bit of Aghanim's backstory. What happened was Hyrule had been going through a lot of bad times recently, diseases and plague and natural disasters and whatnot, and Aghanim showed up and just fixed everything, said, hey, look, I can take care of all this for you. And that's how he got into the king's good graces well enough to get close enough to do this whole thing.
And of course, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yep.
But less generally, wizards are bastards.
Wizards
like
are
9 times out of 10.
bastards.
9 times out of 10. It's a sorcerer's overlord. Like, usually whenever there's some sort of big baddie there, they may wear heavy armor and that sort of thing, but they are a sorcerer's overlord. They have pacts with evil powers, usually, or something like that. Which, I guess, makes them more like clerical overlords, but if we're going by D&D
semantics.
Sorry, I'm kind of talking through the intro here.
Oh, that's fine. If there's voice acting, it'd be different, but I think people can read while we talk.
Link has a dad?
Uncle, actually.
Oh. Link has a family?
He had to come from somewhere.
I thought he, like, spawned from the ground, like the Kokiri tree dropped an acorn, and Link sprouted from it as the chosen hero.
Yeah, remember what the different controls are for the Game Boy Advance version. This actually isn't the original Super Nintendo version, this is the handheld one that came out about 10 years later, because as the series got more lore-heavy, it sort of moved away from some of the translation choices that were made in the original. Figured this one would help it to line up a little bit better in this whole series.
And of course, probably also a little bit nicer looking. Better graphics and controls.
Actually, they keep it about the same. The graphics are pretty much the same as they were before. There was a lighter palette by default in this one that a lot of people didn't like because it was Game Boy Advance and no backlight or anything like that. But they also gave an option for the original, and that's what we're using here. So our uncle told us to stay home, so of course we're not going to do that.
Fuck the rules. No time for school.
These will be these rules.
Rip up the hedges.
Gotta look for secrets now. Gotta look for secrets.
What I don't understand is, why do all those rock things have an 8 on them?
That's the rank.
Oh, right. Rank 8.
Maybe it's just shorthand for how many sides they have. They look like 8-sided rocks.
Oh yeah, they are. That must be it.
There you go. Probably from the Giant's Causeway.
Oh, well, convenient.
And here's that map that the Soul was talking about.
Man, I love to Game Boy Advance on maps.
It's a rather large world.
And this is actually exactly what it looked like on the Super Nintendo, too.
Yes, it did.
The main sort of style of map I remember this from is from the Bomberman Advance game, which I played the shit out of.
I never played that one. I had Bomberman 2 on the NES and 64, and that was it.
Bomberman Advance was... What was that one? That was where you were a bomberman who are apparently some sort of space cops, and you're sent to retrieve a rogue agent, and or his 4 lieutenants, or I'm not sure whether they were just 4 strong beings on the place. No, they were also like rogues, renegade cops. Yeah, you're supposed to take down 4 renegade bombers, and then this is maybe a little off topic for the game at hand, but and I can ramble for ages, but yeah, and you're also there to rescue Max, who was a space cop who'd been there beforehand. So of course you got there, and it turns out Max basically acted like a prophesied hero, and got himself, captured as prophesied heroes do. So you have to go and defeat all of the other bombers in order to get to him. But since they're evil bastards and have been here for longer, they figured out how to use what's on the planet to their own gain, and each can turn into giant boss things.
I didn't realize that Bomberman had such rich lore.
It's pretty cool. There's also little sort of Pokemon-like things that you can catch and level up. Admittedly, the main purpose of leveling them up is so that you can use them to win contests, to win prizes. Some of which give you like unique items or other Pokemon things, and it's the Pokemon things that give you the special bomber abilities, like ability to kick bombs or throw bombs or that sort of thing. So it's a pretty cool way of like having them all and being able to swap them out.
Yeah. So this is tying into the backstory, Aghanim convincing the king to help out finding those descendants to break the seals. Either that or Aghanim putting up a fake message. I'm not sure which.
100 rupees. That doesn't seem like much. I'm pretty sure you can get 200 just by breaking pots everywhere.
Well, only Link seems to have the ability to break pots for money.
What was it? There was one of the games where you could cut grass for money.
Oh, that's all of them.
That's all of them. Okay.
Yep. And the princess mentioned a secret passage over at the side of the castle.
Wonder where it could be.
One thing that the Game Boy Advance version also added, by the way, is voice acting for Link. That wasn't in the Super Nintendo one. He didn't last long.
Well.
A little bit of a dark start, though.
That's what you get for naming the kid Link.
So the Knights of Hyrule are actually a sub-race or clan or something you might call it, people that were specifically devoted to protecting the royal family, but that had pretty much died out by this point. Link's essentially the only survivor of that bloodline.
Huh. I thought he was one of the forest people.
That's a different game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought Link was the same throughout all of them. Is Link?
Oh, yeah, there's multiple links across multiple generations. It's a sort of a repeating reincarnation cycle thing.
Hmm.
There you go.
And you can pause.
Yep. And you can use a lamp to hurt these guys.
Bit harder to aim.
Lamp. Yeah. Lamp doesn't seem to be a very effective melee weapon.
Yeah. And if you didn't get the lamp in the house, you'd find it here. Since we did, we just get some rupees out of it.
Hey. Do we not have to use the lamp to light that brazier thing down there?
Oh, we can do that.
I think so. I mean, it looks like it can be lit.
Leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing from it, though. Just to practice out the lamp, teach you a bit of how to use it.
Oh.
I believe you can also, use it to burn down bushes. What about grass? Yep. And of course, now that we have the sword, we can cut bushes and grass.
Hey, do some gardening. You'll have to very slowly rip them out of the ground.
And there's also Link's signature attack, the spin attack. You just hold down the attack button, charge it up, give enough time, and you can spin. Does about twice the damage of a normal attack, plus it's all around you, of course.
Mindless guards and an angry guard.
Yep. Of course, the thing you have to remember is all these guards are actually guards of the castle brainwashed by Aghanim.
And we just kill them.
Yeah. So let's try not to kill too many of them.
I wonder, can we light those big braziers or only the small ones?
Let's try it. Just seeing what's up here, but I'll head back down there and check
Oh.
it out.
Can you
king's
slash the
skeletons are there.
curtains?
Nope. They've cleared it out by now.
I suppose it was spooking up the place.
No. Won't let me light him.
Oh,
If only.
so rude. So rude.
Well, here's the thing.
Huh.
Oh, that hurts.
That's a good sign.
Let's just ignore it for now.
A blue guard.
Are the blue ones tougher or just blue?
Yeah, they've got a little bit more health.
Color-coded for your convenience.
And there's also a map. Right now, we can just see where we've already been. But in every dungeon in pretty much every Zelda game, you end up getting a map, a compass, and the big key that unlocks the boss. And
What's the compass do?
it shows you where treasure chests you haven't yet opened are, and shows you which room is a boss room.
Yeah.
Now we can see the whole place.
Oh. It also shows us which ones you haven't been to yet, because they're
Yep.
darker. Neat.
And we also got a small key earlier from that enemy. Let us unlock that door. Small keys are used up the first time you use them. Yeah, you can knock enemies into pits also. Anyway, the small keys are used up, the big key isn't, if you find it. Yep. It's been too long since I've played this. Let's just do this. I really hope I don't die in the castle.
That would be very shameful.
Oh, good, some health.
Hey.
I have to admire whoever designed this castle mess.
Well, good way to repel intruders.
And it looks nice, even though it's not functional.
Yep. And they've also got the old death trigger doors. That's always a convenient feature.
I wonder how they make those. They're like blood activated or what? Some sort of
Wizards.
foul sorcery. Well, I mean, they do have a sorcerer's overlord now, so.
Oh, hey, boomerang.
Give it a whirl.
And a Keese, we can actually continue on. Let's see how the boomerang does.
You seemed a little bit stuck.
Yep. Boomerang stuns enemies.
Oh.
Though tough enemies only for a couple seconds. If
Ooh.
even that.
And this one is tough.
Yep. Well, there's a little bit of an easier way to kill them without having to worry about them. Which is... let's throw a couple pots at him. Pot's about as strong as 4 sword hits, if I remember right.
Yeah. Strong pots. Hey, Bosky.
Although in this first intro dungeon, there's no actual boss, so no compass either. And if you happen to miss a lantern before as well, you'll find it in here.
In case you don't take a hint. Well, we found the princess. Game over.
She was in this castle after all. I mean, already much better than Mario. Has a much better princess to castle ratio.
Escort mission, though. Thankfully, in this escort mission, your NPC is invulnerable.
Useful. Sadly, she seems to be following you, so you can hide behind her and use that invulnerability, though.
Well, let's save a little effort, not try and weave through those knights, but let's take this little side passage.
Yeah. I think I was talking about Oblivion the other day, and how if you got a companion that was invulnerable, you could just hide and let them take all the brunt of every attack. Because since they're invulnerable, they would never die. They're like quest critical. That said, there were very few of them. And mostly,
Does seem a little bit exploitable.
the entirety of Oblivion is exploitable. I'm pretty sure. Is what I was leading into next. It was only whenever I started reminiscing about it, I remembered, hang on, there were so many bugs in this game that people just catalogued. It's like a game made by and for governors. To use a Planescape faction.
That's
Like-
just about every Bethesda game, though.
My favourite one was once you got access to the Mages Guild, you could create the spells that allow you to summon armour, which is effectively Daedric armour with no weight on it. And of course you couldn't take it off and it would disappear at the end of the spell. Unless you also created a spell that would damage any armour you wore. Damaged it and then repaired it. Since then, once you repaired it, it somehow changed the item ID, so that you could then drop it, and then you just waited for the spell duration to expire. And after the spell had expired, you could safely pick it back up and have it permanently.
Here's some more, making sure we get the hint, by the way.
Do you have a light?
Did you open one of the 8 chests we passed?
You got a light.
Ah, it is pitch black. Oh, rat.
Not dungeon without rats.
Rat hunting.
And the braziers do eventually go out.
Hey, that rat bit us. God damn it.
Ah, we startled it. We deserved it. Oh, snakes.
Why did it have to be
Better than
snakes?
rats. It's always snakes, Ambi. Always snakes.
Frantically waving the sword about.
Now, I never claimed to be good at this game.
So you're not going for 100% perfect no deaths run through?
Oh, I am.
Speed run it?
We'll just see how well it works. You also notice, by the way, that meter on the left, every time you use a lamp, then you use up a little bit of it. That's your magic meter.
Oh. Does it recharge over time, or how do you get back?
Nope. You find little vials of magic in pots.
Oh.
Like that.
So if you run out, you're just kind of screwed.
Yep.
Do all items use it, including the boomerang, or?
Nope, just some of them.
There's no way to tell which do and don't.
Those bats? Rats?
Those are more rats.
They look kind of like bats.
A little bit.
Hmm.
But mostly just when they're facing you.
Well,
Rich rats.
Well, they do like shiny things.
can you block with a shield, or is it mostly for show?
You can block some things, but not actual melee attacks, usually.
Weird.
More projectiles.
Hmm.
And there's a bat.
Oh. Oh. Fucked. Fucked.
Red rupee and a key.
Hey.
The green ones are worth 1, blue are worth 5, and red are worth 20.
I was a rich rat. Good thing we have that big key, otherwise I'm pretty sure we'd have run out by now. And that looked like a destructible wall back there, but
Yeah, don't have anything to destruct it with right now.
Welcome to Zelda.
And one-way block puzzle. If you head back down when it's reset. This is the only one you can actually push until you can actually get back out.
well,
Oh,
So which one do you think?
right hand. Snow?
I'll go with right too.
Pulled the wrong one. Part of the snakes.
Fuck that noise.
Hey, Chow, go save the world. Good luck.
I'd like to bet 10 rupees that he actually is the sage.
Well, we all know every rumor, legend, and myth always turns out to be true.
But I mean, it's the easiest way to hide as your own descendant. You're like, just look, I'm canon like my own father, and his father before him, and his father before him.
So the next step is to find a way to get the Master Sword so we can stop the wizard. Which I guess is also the last step.
That sounds easy enough. What could go wrong?
It's a simple 2-step plan.
Yep.
Get the sword, kill the wizard.
Also got more life,